welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, October 6, 2016. Just going to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Thank you for your patience with that. So we always start our videos off with a look at the Russell Index, and for that we use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000, and we step back to take a look at it on a 5-year monthly time frame. And we were paying particular attention to this blue channel that the Russell traded within through all of 2014, and then had this lift up and out in early 15, hit this upper light blue line, sold off, but since then prices gained all that ground back, and we are right back up at this upper blue band, well above the channel that we were paying attention to, and in an area that is getting to be really interesting. So we talked about the candle for September shaping up and being complete, having a slightly bullish look to it with a little bit of a longer wick at the bottom and slightly increasing volume coming in, but it's got to get over this light blue area and this prior area of resistance. So it's going to be really interesting, this area here. I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 2-year weekly so we can better see how price is behaving. So we drew this little trend line in on our Tuesday video. We'll see if price can get through there. You know what, Chart of the Day Cafe, it's all about price being up and over this blue 8-day EMA. So we're looking at the weekly chart. Price is up and over that 8-day EMA on the weekly as well as the daily. But I just wanted you to see this area and this little mini wedge that's happening. Should be interesting to see if it can get through here. Let's move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 3-month daily, and there you go. So there's our trend line. We haven't moved that. Interesting to see that it really tried to punch through yesterday, but retreated. I'm filming this at about 8:45 on Thursday morning. The futures are sort of flat to negative, last time I looked anyway. So we'll see how price behaves today, but with price up and over the blue on both the daily and the weekly, we will be putting a chart forward this morning. And the chart we're putting forward, I think everyone's going to recognize, it's UPS, United Parcel Service. So let's go take a look at the chart. There we go. So let me tell you a little bit more about UPS before we get into the chart. You know what, Chart of the Day Cafe, it's all about value. I look for value charts with value, growth, and hopefully a dividend. This one has all three. So UPS is a package delivery company. The company delivers packages in each business day to 1.1 million shipping customers in over 220 countries around the world. It's a huge company. We're all pretty familiar with it, I think. It's got a nice value score, this kind of score I look for. So we've got the value component that we look for. It's also got the growth component with forecasted earnings growth rate of 13%. And the third thing that we don't always get, but this time we do, is a dividend yield. And the dividend yield on UPS is 2.86%. That's a nice dividend yield. For those of you that are into PE, the PE on it is 17.84. So 3 things I look for: value, growth, and dividend. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 5-year monthly. You can see that it walked around for about 2.5 years, almost 3, 14, 15, 16, and then it finally broke through. So we're up and over this area of prior resistance, and sky is blue. So if we get over this area here, no overhead resistance whatsoever. So you can see how important resistance can be. When it held price in for this long and it gets up and over, that's interesting. So this is the monthly chart. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Here we are, and just like the Russell, so it's kind of making this pattern that says if it breaks through here, it might be interesting. So they're coming up on their earnings, I think, at the end of October. That's worth noting. But I like the chart. It's got value, growth, dividend, and it's up and over this prior area. Should it break through here, sky is blue. So let's move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 3-month chart. We'll zoom in. There we are. You can see this kind of mini wedge happening. I am filming this at about 8:45 on Thursday morning. The futures are flat to slightly negative last time I looked. So we'll see if UPS can break through here, but I'm going to put my little green circle and say this is an interesting area. I'm never making any recommendations whatsoever. I do not own UPS. I'm just sharing my homework with you and some of the things that I look for. You know, at Chart of the Day Cafe, we talk about this a little bit, price being up and over the blue, and then having the pink cross. So here's where the pink crosses the blue and the trend moves higher. That's where the meat of the move that we are looking for. So if it breaks through, it's sort of consolidating, but it's got that cross already, consolidating. If it punches through here, it might resume that uptrend, and as I said, sky is blue. So we will see. I'm going to move it away from there to our simple study. You know what, preparation for these videos, I always like to put a few other things in front of you for my chart, and that includes, lately we've been talking about seasonality, United Parcel Service. This is such a great website, equityclock.com. I will include a link to this site with my video today, but you can see that in September and October it comes into that period of seasonal strength and has it through the back half of the year. No guarantee that's going to happen this year, but you like to have those things in your favor. The other thing I think is worth noting is the ISM data that came in earlier this week. It was a good score, vaults to an 11-month high in September. So better than expected score, and UPS sits right in the middle of that. So I will include that article with today's video as well. And then we've been doing this check the boxes thing. So let's go back and check the boxes on UPS. Oops, before I do that, sorry about that, I'm getting ahead of myself. We want to look at the sector that it's in. So let's go back and take a look at this on a 5-year monthly. And I will get rid of all my drawings. You can tell I look at this chart a lot. So this is the transportation ETF, IYT. You can see that in the last year it's been in this kind of uptrend, and it consolidated for a while here, but it is looking perky and strong in this area. So uptrend on the sector for the year. So I think that's important as well. So let's go back to our check the boxes exercise, checking the boxes on UPS. The things I have highlighted in yellow are musts. They must be there for me to put a chart forward. The others are discretionary. But we need to have a market in an uptrend, so check the box. Sector in an uptrend, check the box. UPS in a long-term uptrend, and sky is blue, lifting off support. Good value score. Good growth score, forecasted growth rate of 13%, dividend yield of 2.86, has the 3 and 8 cross already and breaking out of that little mini wedge, perhaps, we don't know, it's a big if. Seasonality and sky is blue, PE of 17.84. So with that, I am putting UPS forward as my Chart of the Day Cafe pick for today, Thursday, October 6th. The other one that I wanted to flag for you, I don't want to make these videos too long, but ATVI is looking perky here as well. This was a past prior pick. We put it forward. Whoops, let me put my drawings back in. We put this one, it was a Chart of the Day Cafe pick down here. It's had a nice run since then, and it looks like it's consolidated for a few days and may want to resume that trend here. So ATVI, check the scores on it this morning, still where we want them. This one looks interesting as well. The other thing I wanted to say is I've started to I'm using the discussion area and putting articles in this area that I think are interesting. So if you want to check that out. Also, if I see a 3 and 8 cross occurring on one of our past Chart of the Day Cafe picks, I will put it in the discussion area as well. I can't track them once I put them in because there's too many of them, but I will give you the heads up that, for instance, ATVI looks like it may want to lift and it's got a 3 and 8 cross, so I put it in there this morning. One more thing is early movers this morning on CNBC. I see AT&T is one of the early movers, which is a Chart of the Day Cafe pick from this past month of September, and the news on it is it struck a multi-year deal with Amazon Web Services, so you might want to go check out AT&T. So with that, I'll leave you. I'm going to put, because it's the first week of a new quarter, I am going to put a video out tomorrow, Friday, on the monthly and quarterly charts. So with that, I'll leave you for today. Have a great weekend, and we'll put out videos again next week. Thanks very much.